Greetings, everyone. Before we dive into the rich history of the Free State of Prussia and the role it plays in the Trench Crusade, I'd like to share a quick note. While much of what you'll hear is deeply rooted in the law, some parts are based on logical inferences and creative speculation. This isn't meant to rewrite the story, but to enhance your understanding and immersion in this grim and fascinating world. So, let's explore Prussia together, keeping in mind that a touch of imagination adds depth to the tale. Prussia stands as a bastion of contradiction, a nation where democracy and military tradition coexist in a tense and delicate balance. In the Free State of Prussia, the ancient ideals of Hellas are revived in its Landtag, where representatives are elected by the populace to determine state affairs. Yet, alongside this modernity lies the indelible influence of its feudal past. The aristocracy, descended from the Knights of the Teutonic Order, wields significant influence, especially within the ranks of the military. This duality defines the Free State. While its citizens enjoy the right to vote, the nobility ensures that its military remains an instrument of precision and discipline. Officers, often drawn from the wealthiest and most prestigious families, command elite formations like the Gardekorps. These units embody the Prussian ethos of unwavering resolve and the unrelenting pursuit of victory. The Prussian approach to warfare is one of innovation and pragmatism, driven by necessity. The horrors of the Trench Crusade have demanded a relentless arms race, one in which Prussia has excelled. The Prussian Institute of Metallurgy in Königsberg serves as a beacon of technological advancement, producing cutting-edge weaponry and equipment. The tank splitter swords, forged with near monomolecular precision, are just one example of the ingenuity that has allowed Prussia to stand firm against the infernal horrors of the heretic legions. Prussia's strength lies not only in its weapons, but also in its people. The soldiers of the Free State fight not out of blind faith or coercion, but from a shared sense of duty to protect their homeland and the fragile freedoms they hold dear. This unity, forged in the crucible of war, has allowed Prussia to endure against all odds. However, this resilience comes at a cost. The unending war slowly grinds away at the ideals of democracy, replacing them with the harsh pragmatism of survival. Despite these challenges, Prussia endures. Its survival is a testament to its ability to adapt, to innovate, and to unite in the face of annihilation. In the theatre of the Trench Crusade, Prussia's legacy is written not in words, but in the unyielding resolve of its people, the sharpness of its blades, and the ingenuity of its minds. Here, the Prussian Hauptmann emerges as a symbol of balance between tradition and progress, discipline and freedom, and the unbreakable human spirit amidst the abyss. Hauptmann Frederica von Goltz is a figure who embodies the paradoxical nature of the Free State of Prussia, a noblewoman in a democratic nation, a commander in a war defined by chaos, and a warrior who carries both privilege and scars with equal weight. Her story reflects the duality of Prussia itself, disciplined and unyielding, yet shaped by the turbulence of endless conflict. As a scion of the von Goltz family, Frederica was born into a lineage steeped in martial tradition. The von Goltz name, long associated with valor and leadership, ensured her access to the finest education in both strategy and combat. But her rise to prominence was not solely a product of heritage. Frederica's personal drive and aptitude for warfare set her apart, even in a society that often reserved command roles for men. Against prevailing norms, Frederica claimed her place in the IV Gardekorps of Königsberg. This elite unit, famed for its expertise in anti-armor warfare, became her proving ground. Unlike the mass-produced armor worn by the rank and file, her own was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, light, durable, and tailored to the ferocious melee combat she would lead. Her skill with the tank splitter sword, a weapon capable of disabling even the most hellish war machines, earned her respect among her peers and fear among her enemies. Frederica's leadership is marked by an unwavering focus on adaptability and precision. She is known for orchestrating lightning-fast strikes against heretic armor columns, exploiting the slow firing and cumbersome nature of their sacrilege cannons. Under her command, the IV Gardekorps perfected hit-and-run tactics, overwhelming their foes before they could retaliate. Yet this relentless efficiency comes at a cost. The heretics, aware of the threat she poses, often deploy their own elite legionnaires in attempts to capture her Stoßtruppen, a fate that promises unimaginable torment in the hands of the court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. Her scars, both physical and emotional, bear silent witness to her trials. The ritualized mensur duels she endured to prove her courage have left her face marked with thin, precise lines, each one a badge of her bravery. These duels, a tradition among Prussian officers, serve not only as tests of skill, but as reminders of the vulnerability inherent in leadership. In the Gardekorps, such scars are symbols of camaraderie and mutual respect, binding her soldiers to her cause. Yet beneath her stoic exterior, Frederica is acutely aware of the fragility of the world she fights to protect. The endless grind of war, the weight of command, and the sacrifices demanded of her men weigh heavily on her. To her, the battlefield is not a place of glory, but of necessity, a crucible where survival is earned through blood and resolve. Hauptmann Frederica von Goltz is more than a commander. She is a reflection of Prussia's enduring spirit, a warrior who carries the hopes of her nation with every strike of her blade. In the unending shadow of war, she stands as a beacon of determination, leading her forces against the abyss with courage forged in the fires of both tradition and innovation. In the mechanized hellscape of the Trench Crusade, the heretics' sacrilege cannons and armored monstrosities reign as symbols of fear and devastation. Yet, the Prussian Gardekorps have forged their identity as the counterbalance to these infernal engines of destruction. Through ingenuity, courage, and discipline, they have become the vanguard of anti-armor warfare, a force as relentless as the horrors they face. At the heart of their arsenal is the tank splitter sword, a marvel of Prussian engineering crafted by the Institute of Metallurgy. These weapons are composed of a near monomolecular alloy of orichalcum and titanium, allowing them to cut through the thick tracks and reinforced armor of heretical war machines. The Gardekorps wield these swords with a precision born of rigorous training, their strikes designed to disable tanks quickly and decisively. Once immobilized, the machines are destroyed with incendiary grenades, ensuring their infernal payloads never reach their intended targets. Speed and coordination define the Gardekorps' battlefield doctrine. Unlike traditional trench warfare, which often devolves into brutal stalemates, their tactics emphasize mobility and decisive strikes. Using hit-and-run methods, Gardekorps units exploit the vulnerabilities of the heretic sacrilege cannons, which are notoriously slow to aim and fire. This swift and ruthless approach has earned them both accolades and infamy. However, the heretics have not been idle in responding to this threat. Their elite legionnaires, drawn from the most fanatical ranks of Hell's legions, are often deployed to counter the Gardekorps. These legionnaires are not only heavily armed, but are incentivized to capture Stoßtruppen alive, a cruel fate that sees the captured sold to the court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. This grim reality fuels the Gardekorps' determination to avoid capture at all costs. The training that forges a member of the Gardekorps is as brutal as the battles they fight. Mensur dueling plays a central role in preparing officers, instilling both the physical and psychological resilience needed for the chaos of close-quarters combat. These duels, where participants risk their faces to deliberate strikes, are more than rites of passage. They are bonds of shared pain and mutual respect that unite the Gardekorps in their mission. Yet the Gardekorps' reliance on close combat and precision strikes comes with its challenges. The high attrition rate of these units, coupled with the immense resources required to produce their weapons and armor, places a significant burden on Prussia's war machine. Despite these costs, their successes on the battlefield have solidified their role as one of Prussia's most vital assets. The Gardekorps are not just soldiers, they are warriors of defiance, standing as a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. Their mastery of the tank splitter sword and their unyielding resolve make them symbols of Prussian ingenuity and courage. In the unending nightmare of the Trench Crusade, they remain a force to be reckoned with, cutting through the heretical tide with blades of steel and hearts of iron. In the war-torn reality of the Trench Crusade, innovation is the lifeblood of survival. For the Free State of Prussia, The Prussian Institute of Metallurgy serves as both its heart and its mind, a place where science and faith merge to create weapons capable of holding back the tide of heretical destruction. Here, alchemical secrets, industrial expertise, and the desperate ingenuity of war have birthed the tools that define Prussia's defiance. The most iconic creation of the Institute is the tank splitter sword. Forged from an alloy of orichalcum and titanium, these weapons are the epitome of Prussian craftsmanship. The near monomolecular edges allow them to slice through the reinforced armor and tracks of heretical war machines, rendering them immobile and vulnerable to the Gardekorps' finishing strikes. Every tank splitter sword is a masterpiece, imbued with the skill and knowledge of generations of metallurgists who have honed their craft to perfection. Yet, these swords are only a single thread in the vast tapestry of Prussian innovation. The Institute has also pioneered the development of anti-materiel rifles designed to pierce the hulls of armored vehicles from a distance. These weapons, while lacking the elegance of the tank splitters, have proven invaluable in countering the overwhelming firepower of the heretics' sacrilege cannons. Their effectiveness lies in their brutal simplicity, a reflection of Prussia's pragmatic approach to warfare. The Institute's contributions extend beyond weaponry. The personal armor of officers like Hauptmann Frederica von Goltz is a testament to the fusion of form and function. Lightweight yet durable, this custom armor allows for the speed and mobility required in the ferocious close-quarters combat that defines the Gardekorps' tactics. These suits are not mass-produced, but are tailored to the individual, reflecting the Prussian belief that every soldier is a vital cog in the war machine. However, the Institute's innovations are not without cost. The production of orichalcum titanium alloys, as well as the maintenance of advanced weaponry and armor, places immense strain on Prussia's resources. The relentless pace of the Trench Crusade demands constant adaptation, forcing the Institute to push the boundaries of what is possible. This pressure has resulted in both groundbreaking advancements and catastrophic failures, as the quest for superiority leaves little room for caution. The Prussian Institute of Metallurgy represents more than just a center of technological progress. It is a symbol of the Free State's unyielding resolve. In its furnaces and workshops, the ideals of Prussian resilience take shape, transforming raw materials into tools of survival and defiance. Every weapon, every suit of armor, and every innovation carries with it the weight of a nation's hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the flame of human ingenuity can burn bright. In the unending struggle against the forces of hell, the Institute's creations are not merely tools of war. They are manifestations of Prussia's spirit, forged in fire and wielded with purpose. As long as its furnaces burn and its metallurgists toil, the Free State of Prussia will remain a force to be reckoned with, standing resolute against the abyss. War is an endless grind of sacrifice, where honor and survival often clash in a grim dance. For the Prussian Gardekorps, the spectre of capture looms as one of the greatest fears on the battlefield. To fall into the hands of the heretics is not merely to face death, but to endure a fate so vile it becomes a weapon of terror unto itself. Nowhere is this more evident than in the dealings of the court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. The court, a shadowy network operating under the auspices of Hell's hierarchy, is notorious for its grotesque trade in captured Stoßtruppen. These prisoners, prized for their specialized skills and defiant spirit, are seen as trophies by the heretics. Unlike most captives, whose lives end in ritualistic sacrifice or endless torment, members of the Gardekorps are often subjected to prolonged psychological and physical degradation before being sold to the agents of the court. Despite this, the Gardekorps remain resolute in their defiance. The knowledge of what awaits them if captured fuels their determination to fight to the last. Many carry cyanide capsules or incendiary grenades, ensuring they can deny the heretics the satisfaction of their capture. To be taken alive is not just a personal tragedy, but a betrayal of the unity and spirit of the Gardekorps, a fate worse than death. The Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent stands as a grim reminder of the stakes in the Trench Crusade. It represents not only the horrors of war, but the unyielding spirit required to face them. For the Prussian Gardekorps, the court is both a shadow over the battlefield and a catalyst for their unwavering resolve, a constant reminder that honor, even when it comes at the highest cost, is the foundation of their strength. In the unending nightmare of the Trench Crusade, where the lines between heroism and horror blur, the Gardekorps' defiance against the court of the Seven-Headed Serpent is a story of resistance, a refusal to bow to the darkness, and a reminder that even in the most harrowing circumstances, the human spirit can endure.